Hi guys, I'm a Forester here. Today is July the 4th, Independence Day, and I've been meaning to make this video for quite a while. This is my 700th video since creating my channel almost 14 years ago. My very first video was made on September the 7th, 2010, and I called it Forester's EDC Review 2010. That was 14 years ago, and it has 801 views as of today. My very first subscriber was my daughter, and as of today I have 7,252 subscribers. So after 14 years of YouTube, I thought it'd be a good time to review what I've learned about YouTube and where I'm going in the future. So first of all, I'm going to pose some questions to myself and give you my answers. Why did I start producing YouTube videos 14 years ago? Well, I started YouTube after the Great Recession. Now, if you'll think back to the Great Recession, happened in what, 2008 or so? A lot of people like me thought the economy might fail. So we got into prepping. I remember telling my wife at the time that we could prep for bad times, but without self-defense, we're just prepping for others. And that got me into all types of reviews of tactical gear, including guns, knives, flashlights, and more. The second reason I got into YouTube is that I've always enjoyed the process of making videos. It's very similar to producing a PowerPoint for business presentations and coming up with an idea, creating the video, editing it, uploading the video, and then enjoying the interaction with the viewers. So the next question is, am I glad that I joined YouTube as a content creator? And yes, of course I've enjoyed it, or I wouldn't have stuck with it so long, 14 years. But there are positives and negatives. I'll try to name the main positive and main negative. The biggest positive is that I've developed relationships with others on YouTube over the years that have meant a lot to me. Sometimes the only thing that we had in common was something like knife collecting, but we didn't let our differences stand in the way. The biggest negative about YouTube was the amount of time that I had to dedicate to making videos when I could have been doing other things like needed home repairs. And yes, I have a long list of honeydew projects waiting till retirement. So what have I learned about YouTube? Well, I'll try to give you the top 4 or 5 lessons that I've learned. Number 1, I've learned that I cannot predict whether a video is going to be popular or not. This video that you're watching right now may be viewed 50 times, 500 times, or 5,000 times. I really can't predict it. I used to think that the video title and the thumbnail dictated a video's popularity. But I once tested that theory with a video that I called Kydex Tech Holster Solutions. I used a professional model for the thumbnail, and it did okay, but after 6 months, it only had 500 views. The second lesson that I've learned is that YouTube isn't a money-making proposition, at least for me. My channel is primarily about reviewing gear, and typically the gear that I buy costs a lot more than the revenue that I get from YouTube. Yes, I have had some successful videos. For instance, a $50 flashlight that my wife bought that so far has made $946 in revenue. Or the $5 Eco stapler that was gifted to me that's made $117 in revenue. But those are very unusual videos, unusual situations. The more common situation is the $500 handgun that I purchased that makes $75 in revenue. So in general, I view YouTube revenue as a small discount on the gear that I want to buy anyway. My third lesson learned is that success on YouTube really depends on your goals. If your goal is to depend on YouTube revenue for financial support, then your channel should be strongly focused on one topic or one audience. It could be fountain pens and associated gear like notebooks and ink. For me, my initial goal was to document our lives and interests for our daughter and grandchildren. So in addition to gear reviews, my videos dealt with travel to Korea and China, our love of music, forestry-related topics, and many other themes. But my subscribers that joined for gun and knife reviews didn't necessarily care about fountain pens and piano concerts. Now, do I consider this YouTube video successful? Well, yes and no. Yes, I've met my goal of documenting our lives for over a decade now. But no, in terms of building the channel, it really hasn't been that successful. My next question is, what is the most important factor in building a successful channel? Well, I think the most important factor in building a channel is the personality of the content creator. The content and the video quality are important, but the person speaking is the most important factor of all. Now, I'm not the best speaker. That's obvious. But I always said that the world is a big place, and I figured that there were enough folks that would be attracted to my channel to at least make it worth my while. Okay, now I've said that I can't predict the popularity of my videos. So my next point is, well, which of my videos were the most popular? This is my 700, so I've got a lot to choose from. My number one most popular video was one that I called Top 10 Knives 2015. So you can search for that and find it if you want to watch it. Of course, I made it in 2015, so that's like 9 years ago, but it's been viewed 200,000 times, over 200,000. It's been viewed 2 times in the past month, so at least a few people are still watching it, and it made a total of $149. I've enjoyed looking this information up on these top 3 videos that I'm going to mention. My second most popular video was really done on a lark. It was not a serious video, but maybe my humor didn't really come out in it. But it was because of a situation in 2013 when this video was made where ammo was very scarce. You know, it was harder to find ammo for a gun than to actually buy a gun. And so I wanted to go to the range and I needed some .45 caliber ammo. I went to my local gun store, and when I got home I realized that they had given me .45 GAP ammo instead of .45 ACP. Now, to be honest, at the time I was not aware of GAP ammo, so it just didn't catch my attention. But I made the video on a lark, as I said, just to raise awareness that, hey, you got a situation here, and the thought occurred to me, maybe it'd be easier to buy a gun that shot .45 GAP than to actually find .45 ACP. I wasn't serious, and I ended up taking that ammo back and exchanging it for some .45 ACP. That video has been viewed 158,000 times, 31 times in the past 2 days. So people are still watching it. I'm not really sure why, unless they just don't know, they're not aware of .45 GAP ammo either, and are trying to be informed. That video has made $363. Now, my third most popular video was called Bamboo for Biomass. I made it in 2016. At the time, we had some new biomass energy facilities that were looking for alternative sources of biomass. We also have landowners here in the state that would love to find a market for the bamboo that's growing on their property. I put 2 and 2 together and tried to come up with a win-win situation to see if bamboo could be used for producing power at a biomass power plant. Well, it did work. They did test it. We used traditional forestry equipment to do the harvesting, and I think that was interesting to people. So I made this video in 2016. It's been viewed 120,400 times, 6 times in the past 2 days, and it's made $209. And I've gotten a lot of contacts from around the world that's interested in that harvesting equipment. They may not be familiar with the harvesting equipment that we used. So my top 3 videos were a knife, a gun, and a forestry related video. Really nothing in common. In my opinion, they aren't my best videos. I don't even understand why they were so popular. I've had 6 videos with over 100,000 views. 3 were gun related, and 1 each were knife, flashlight, and forestry related. Okay, where will I go from here on YouTube? The truth is that I'm not really sure. This is my 700th video. I could stop right here, but I always have video ideas in my head. For instance, I've been wearing this new watch. This is a ball watch. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I plan to make a video about this. I've been wearing it for 6 months and I think I'm ready to review it. I think the title will be something like Ball, a watch to grow old with. I bought a new Sailor pen recently and I forgot to bring that out, put it in my pocket, but I definitely want to review it. So with retirement in my future, I've also thought about refocusing my channel on retirement life. But I've always resisted concentrating on just one thing. That's why my channel hasn't grown, I think. Give me your advice. Should I call it a day, continue as is, or focus, man, focus on one thing? The last point I'd like to make is, what is the most important YouTube metric? Is it number of subscribers, watch time, or maybe number of viewers? Well, the metric that I tend to watch the most is the number of viewers. It's an early indication of popularity. I tend to set an initial hurdle of just 100 views. That's a low bar. And then I'll increase it to 200, 500, 1,000, and on. Another important metric for me is the number of comments. I've tried to reply to all comments over the years, and it's the personal contacts that have kept me engaged for 14 years. So with that in mind, please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Y'all take care. I hope you have a good 4th of July, and stay tuned for my ball watch video and also my Sailor pen review. Y'all take care.